So the story is this. The LI and many MPs sent this to me because on Tuesday I said something here that I think that the MPs should have had in the LI a total traffic overhaul plan. And then when you have a traffic overhaul plan, then you can put in all of those things. But if you bring an LI that says that exclude us from the traffic situation so that we can benefit from it and we can live as special citizens, then people are going to resist it. So the MPs called me and said, the thing you said, it was in the LI. The LI is about traffic management. That's what it is. However, when the LI came to Parliament, MPs said that Adom-Otchere has been arresting them when they are driving. And they arrest you and you say you're a member of Parliament and you're going to Parliament. He has no regard for it. So, if the MTTU people want this LI passed, they will have to include in it these exemptions for members of Parliament. Apparently, this information came from members of Parliament themselves. This addition came from members of Parliament. And when Dominic Ayini was laying the bill, he was being told by Okudzeto and others that make sure that the amendments that we put in there is in there. This is the story. That the amendment that MPs put in there, Okudzeto was urging Dominic that those amendments be put in there. Let's watch the video first. And then we'll come to what Ablakwa put on his Facebook page. And then you can put the two in context and make a determination about who was speaking the truth. This is the video. Have a look from Parliament.
You are right, legally, that the business is not before the House. And therefore, encouraging the chairman of the Subsidiary Legislation Committee to engage with the minister, you are right. But the experience has shown, and experience is the best teacher, that we have done some before and took it for granted that those consultations have yielded the desired results and have reported on some instruments earlier on and later on discovered that the concerns were not captured. That is where I want to emphasize that the committee led by the chairman in engaging the minister should make sure that there is some consensus on those issues and those are well captured. And then the House would then, by the constitutional provision, process them so that we are not caught unawares again when the public start raising issues on those matters. You all recall recently what happened with the fees and charges miscellaneous instruments. So that is why I just want to draw your attention to it. But we proceed now to allow him to lay it, and it now becomes part of our business. It's before the House, and the House can now consider it properly. It's usually very difficult to get the percentage that is required by the Constitution to annul.
So you get up to that point. This is Speaker Bagbin talking about the bill and saying to members of Parliament that those consultations that we said you should have you had it? Because time has happened when you will assume that the consultations have been captured in, but then you will find out that the consultations were not captured in. What were the consultations? The consultations, we have been told, is about the inserting in the LI those privileges that the MPs were looking for. And that's what Mr. Speaker apparently is speaking to. So those MPs who come out and say, after the public uproar, that I don't know anything about it, I wasn't part of it, we should stop that kind of politics in this country, shouldn't we? I mean, we should stand up for what we stand up for. We should be left, right. Just, we should be, what you see is what you get. That's genuine politics. What is, if the thing goes wrong and the public, and then you come behind and say, hey, I wasn't part of it. This is the speaker talking about that LI. He says that, where I pause, the speaker says, so right now, we will allow him to lay it, hoping that those consultations will be done. Continue the video.
Instrument. That's why we have the challenge. So the Minister for Roads, Minister for Transport is called upon to lay that instrument. Yes, please. Yes, Chairman.
Right, Honorable Speaker, usually the procedure is that when the changes have been suggested by the committee and they are effected by the drafting division of the Attorney General's Department, then the Minister writes to the committee notifying the committee of the changes that have been made to the instrument, and that the instrument has been finalized for laying, and then we vet it. The leadership of the committee will vet it before we approve it for laying. The Honorable Minister defaulted in writing back to us, and that is how come that I wasn't aware that it has been affected. But he and his staff, they have shown me the provisions that we asked should be inserted. So, Mr. Speaker, it can be late. Thank you very much.
So this is just before the LI was laid. The chairman of the committee, the Honorable Dominic Ayini, member of the National Democratic Congress, this is the Honorable Dominic Ayini, former Deputy Attorney General. Honorable Dominic Ayini is telling Speaker that the thing that you are talking about, those concerns have been, we noticed them. But the minister, when we wrote to him about the amendments, he defaulted in writing back to me that the amendments have been carried. However, his staff tell me that it looks like the amendments are in there. So, Mr. Speaker, we can go ahead and lay it. The Speaker was saying that don't lay it, because if you lay it and the amendments that MPs wanted, which is the siren and the car, is not inside, then we're going to have a problem. And he's assuring the Speaker that, oh, don't worry. Then we wrote those amendments to the minister. He didn't write back to me, but his staff assures me that it works. Now, you saw in the video when Dominic Ayini was speaking, who was sitting to his left? Please, forward the video to that side and let's show it again. And I'll talk over it. If you can just forward the video, we'll show what. The man sitting to his left is Honorable Ablakwa. He was the one sitting to the Dominic Ayini's left. And he heard everything that was, and he was making comments. Yeah, that's Honorable Ablakwa over there. He's the one to the right-hand side of the screen. That is Okudzeto Ablakwa sitting by Dominic Ayini when Dominic Ayini was laying this LI that Ablakwa says he doesn't know anything about. I mean, what kind of politics is this, sir? Okay, now put Ablakwa's post on the social media on the touch screen. Let's read it to viewers so they can understand what kind of politics we are doing here. So this is what Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa put out. He said, I thought those of us totally at sea about the supposed LI on sirens and no speed limit missed the ball in Parliament. But it is reassuring to hear the Speaker of Parliament deny knowledge of the controversial LI. I hope the Speaker will launch an investigation into this whole fury. It is also great news that my minority leader has issued a statement opposing the LI. I'm in total and unequivocal support with our leader, Honorable Okudzeto Ablakwa, the Transport Ministry, blah, 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 blah. Viewers, send me text. This is Ablakwa writing this. He doesn't know anything about the LI. Same Ablakwa sitting near Dominic Ayini when Dominic Ayini was laying that LI that he says he doesn't know anything about. Mr. Speaker apparently also says he doesn't know anything about it, but this is the Speaker in the chamber apparently speaking about that LI. I'm completely confused. Unless Ablakwa comes to answer the question that he didn't know about it and explain why, we will say that he was not telling the Ghanaian people the truth when he put this out there. Unless he has something else to say, because the video is there. You are sitting by the chairman of the committee, who is a member of your side of Parliament. The chairman of the committee is laying the paper. Speaker says, committee chairman, are you sure the paper is due to be laid? Because the way it is, if you don't finish your consultations and you lay the paper, you probably will not be able to change it. Chairman of the committee assures the Speaker that, oh, don't worry, everything is sorted. So he prepares to lay the document. It is upon laying the document that the whole world heard about it, and somebody went to the media and said, parliamentarians want car. Then I came here and said, no, parliamentarians cannot want siren. They have to be fixing the whole thing. Apparently the bill is about fixing the whole thing. Now next, I'm going to bring the entire LI here and walk you through all the provisions of it so that you can see it. But my concern today is that the politicians that we are supposed to trust, the leaders of Parliament, they should be more truthful to our people and stop this playing for the cameras. Every time trying to show that they are noble people, they are the most noble people. I don't even get it. Ablakwa, you have to come and tell us something. You have to come and explain the inconsistency between your complete denial of this LI and your position sitting by Dominic Ayini when Dominic Ayini was laying it. I'll leave it here.